Brittany Murphy from Geese of Color. How are you both today?
Good.
It's been a fun week.
For sure. And my first question, Sanaa, for you is, previously you've obviously worked on Miss Marvel as an executive producer, which is a character that you co-created. So I was just wondering, because you've also worked on Daredevil in the comics, what has it been like, you know, having that work from your comic experience inform doing these TV series?
Oh, it's so fun. I'm sort of I'm like nerd alert in the writer's room. Like just coming in and being like, Dario, can we do this? Like, so it's really fun. It feels very organic. I just being an editor and being a producer, my job is to be able to take the material that existed. I mean, again, these characters have existed for a very, very long time, and our job is to work with creators who are going to take it to the next level and continue to still be true to who these characters ultimately are. So for me, I mean, I grew up understanding that in comics, and now expanding that into the TV space has been such a thrill and a joy. But I'm nerd and fan first.
She sells herself short. She has such an amazing editor brain, and it's that's the best way of putting it. She's translated editor brain into long form television in a way that not just pushes the writer's room in a good way, but gives us a framework. One of the things that's been really great is, look, just the other day when we were doing this season, you left a comic book on the writer's room table that then goes and makes the round, and then we're all like, more, tell us, how do we, you know, and her connection, like we had an issue that we wanted to talk through, and Charles Soule beams into the writer's room.
Yeah.
It's more than, it's executive producer, comic book editor put together, spun around, and then comes into producing long form TV. It's a very rare unicorn here.
Thanks, you know? I appreciate it. It's always nice to have the trust of our writers.
Exactly.
It's more than it's trust, and it's also like, you know, how do we? And we have a lot of conversations that are essentially, this is so cool.
Yeah.
How do we make it happen visually?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff you can do in comics you can't really do on the side of a building in New York for any kind of real budget.
For sure. And for Dario, there's so many, like, obviously action-packed moments within the first 2 episodes that I saw, but also a lot of emotional moments. So what was it like for you finding that perfect balance?
I mean, for 30 years, that's what I've been trying to do in almost everything I do. And like the Daredevil's one of those golden opportunities. As a comic book and as the show, which I loved, it always had that great balance of like, oh my God, this is so kick-ass, ouch, you know, and oh, I really care about how these people care about each other. So it's always about finding something that's thrilling and adrenaline producing, and then finding the heart and the humanity. And this is one of those stories that is so, that's in its DNA. I think Daredevil's always been that. You know, you always feel for Matt.
And speaking of further Marvel things, is there anything, both of you, that you might want to tackle, or characters that you enjoy that you would like to perhaps work on?
Oh yes,
Oh
there is.
God, so many.
I mean, I have my wish list, and I've been, you know, I don't want to say too much, but you know, we are doing a second season of Daredevil. There are other people in this universe that we may get a chance to play with. I love the street level Hell's Kitchen corner of the universe, and there are a few that I would love to get a chance to bring in and play with and spin off, and yeah, there's yeah. And you?
Always. I mean, I'm a huge Elektra fan.
Oh,
I would love that opportunity. We already
you
have
just
so
said
many.
it out loud.
I know, I said it out loud.
I
I have
love
to be
it.
careful.
Speak it into the universe.
I
I
know,
know.
I love it. We
And
would
I'm
be
right
so
there
lucky.
with her.
We'd be so lucky, but I will say we have so many amazing characters in the show already. Like there's a plethora, so we really want to focus in on them. And we introduced White Tiger in the show, played by Camar de los Rios, who, magnificent actor. He unfortunately passed away, so I feel like we've got a lot of richness.
It's a bonanza of creativity.
It's a bonanza of creativity.
Thank you. Thank you both so much
Thank
for
you,
your
and
time.
I'm glad you dug it.
I did, I
you.
really did. I'm excited for the next episodes when they give them to me. So, yeah.